Our first category is SEIB Horse of the Decade, and my goodness, there was some to choose from. Now for a short message from the sponsors, SEIB. Let's see who they all were.
SEIB, here to help.
Big star, Nick Skelton's horse of a lifetime, who was a winning machine until his retirement in 2017. His crowning glory was a brace of Olympic gold medals. At London 2012, he led the British team to victory, while at Rio 2016, he claimed individual honours. Chilly Morning, a brilliant championship campaigner for William Fox Pitt this decade, with 2 individual bronzes and a team silver. He also became the only stallion ever to triumph at Badminton with his 2015 victory. Valegro, the greatest dressage horse of all time, who took individual and team gold at the 2012 Olympics and individual gold in 2016. At Olympia 2014, he beat his own world record to achieve the highest ever recorded Grand Prix freestyle dressage score of 94.3. La Biasatique Sam, FBW, winner of back-to-back individual Olympic golds, European and world individual gold, and 4 other championship medals, plus victories at Badminton Burghley that helped Michael Jung secure the Rolex Grand Slam in 2016. And now for the winner of the 2020 SEIB Horse of the Decade. It's Valegro!
Valegro, or Blueberry as we call him here at home, has always been a favourite of everybody. And I think wherever we have travelled around the world with him, he's been loved by people that aren't even horsey, not just the people that know him over here. So for us that he is recognised like this, it's just, like a truly inspirational thing for all of us to feel that for him, because, he is this superstar. He always has been. He's never, ever let us down, his country down, or Charlotte down. And, he just really is the superstar in a true sense. So I think, we could safely say that we're going to celebrate for him, celebrate with him. We're just delighted that that's happened. So thank you very much to everybody. The first time I ever set eyes on Blueberry, we were at the stallion grading in Holland, and we were wandering out in the stables in the back, and I was with Anna van Olst, and she said, oh, these are some of the young horses that didn't go through, and they will be sold on. And this very small, squat horse was looking at the stable, but you can see this head. He has this amazing dished face, and he always had this very alert expression. And he just caught my eye as being an extremely beautiful, powerful, compact 2.5-year-old. And I just fell in love with him there and then, and I just, I always described him as the head of a duchess, and with the bottom like a cook, and that's what he reminded me of there and then. And of course it was a risk. He's 2.5 years old. It'd be easy to say, wouldn't it? Oh, well, you could see he was a superstar, but he did have this amazing expression that shows, his intelligence, and the development came later on. I think what made Blueberry and Charlotte such an amazing team is the fact that they'd actually been together for so long as well. When you're brought up with a horse, from an early age, and you know the horse inside out, and in fact the horse knows the rider inside out as well. They were absolutely like the perfect marriage, really. They were able to, cover up each other's weaknesses and strengths. Bring the strength out together, and the weaknesses they hid. I mean, you would have always thought that Blueberry was made for to be a gold medal horse, but there were some things he found difficult along the way that he learnt. But I think because Charlotte is such a confident rider, he's such a confident horse. We all know we can win medals at home, but it's very difficult to take what you do at home into an arena. And that is what Charlotte and Blueberry did. Absolutely what he gave her at home, he gave her in the ring. And that is a rarity, that you can actually take that forward. And she was always able to take risks with him because he was so in tune with her, because he's such a brave horse, because he's such a horse that enjoyed his work. He was just happy to show off, and the more she asked, the more he gave. And it's what put them above everybody else. Some people are like, always with their horses, like trying to keep it calm, trying to keep it relaxed because of their temperaments, or some horses just aren't motivated enough. But he is the perfect mixture of a horse that enjoys his work and an athlete. He is a proper horse athlete. I think one of the moments in his career where I was most proud was actually when we'd gone to Las Vegas and he was in the World Cup final. For the first time in his life, he had flown there with Alan. It's a long flight, 12-hour flight. For the first time ever, he was actually off colour after his travelling. He got big legs, and I think he was just feeling a little bit travel sick. And even the day before his competition, he still was under par, and he seemed quite flat and not himself. And then, as usual, the day of the final, he came out, and I think even though he wasn't feeling 100%, he gave 110%. And he won it well, and he won it in style. And he deserved that trophy that was there on the side of the arena. And I just thought, wow, what a horse. He didn't feel great, but he went in the ring, and it was almost like he knew on that particular day that he had to come up trumps, and he did. So he was retired in 2016 just from competition. I think people thought that, he was going into retirement and would never be seen again, and that's absolutely not the case. His life is very varied. At the moment he goes out, as you can see, his stable behind me is next to Utopia. They're able to touch each other. They've spent all their life traveling together, and it's only fitting that they have retired together. So they go out in the orchard up in front of the house every morning, and they do a few hours up there. They're both particularly greedy, so they can't do hours and hours, but they both go out, and then they'll either be hacked, or they do a little bit of schooling. He does a couple of lessons a week for my girls here, so that they get the feeling of what an amazing horse should feel like. But apart from that, we have people come and visit him regularly. Of course, this year's been a bit exceptional, but he's even, like this year, with his hobby horse and just charity things that he does. He raises so much money for other people. I mean, literally just by being him and letting people come and see him. And in the summer when it was possible, 2 people that had raised money for a riding school that wasn't doing very well, they wanted to come and meet him. They arrived here, and we were even able to sit them on his back. He's that quiet and that kind with everybody. So he really is, he's a miracle horse. Well, I'd like to say a big thank you to Horse and Hound and SEIB for sponsoring Horse of the Decade. I can't tell you how proud everybody here at Oaklebrook Mill is of Valegro. I think you can also see he looks very happy. To his other owners, Anne Barrett and Rody Luard, and of course Alan, who's looked after him so amazingly throughout his career. And the people here at home that always end up looking after the yard when Valegro was away winning medals. They were the ones keeping an eye on things here. So I'm delighted, and thank you so much. Hopefully you'll be able to see him again in the future, because as you can see, he still looks as young as ever.